She screamed like the spill was my fault, like gravity had betrayed her. The cup lay shattered at my feet, my blouse soaked, my skin burning. She leaned in, eyes sharp with borrowed power, and said the words she thought would end me. "My husband owns this hospital." I didn't flinch. I didn't raise my voice. I took out my phone and dialed. "Come downstairs," I said calmly. "Right now. Your new wife just dumped coffee on me." The silence on the other end was the only confirmation I needed. We met when I believed in futures. He was steady then, a surgeon with careful hands and a smile that felt earned. We built a life out of schedules and quiet dinners, out of shared exhaustion and small victories. He said he loved how calm I was. He said I made him better. I believed him because I wanted to. I stood beside him while he climbed, through residencies and committees and long nights that smelled like antiseptic and ambition. I signed documents without reading the fine print, because trust was supposed to be enough. When the hospital board handed him the keys, he squeezed my hand like we'd won together. That's the thing about betrayal. It doesn't arrive screaming, it arrives politely. Late nights that don't add up, passwords changed, a new name in his phone saved under a man's. I didn't confront him, not then. I watched. I noticed the way he stopped touching me unless an audience was present, the way his stories developed gaps, the way his cologne changed. I saw the intern once, too confident, too familiar. She laughed at his jokes like she'd practiced. I told myself it was nothing, because believing that hurt less. The proof came quietly. A hospital fundraiser, champagne, his phone left unattended, one message, a photo, her ring on his hand. I felt the heartbreak register somewhere distant, like a diagnosis delivered without bedside manner. But I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I closed the phone, I smiled for the cameras, and I started planning. Revenge isn't rage, it's patience. I read every document I had ever signed. I learned where the money moved and why. I found the clauses he assumed no one would ever notice. I spoke to a lawyer who specialized in quiet endings. I let my husband believe I was distracted, defeated, harmless. I let him marry her. Bigamy is an ugly word. It looks worse in court. I gathered what I needed: timestamps, signatures, witnesses. I let the hospital's ethics committee discover discrepancies on their own. I made sure the board received anonymous tips that couldn't be traced to me. I filed for divorce on grounds that froze assets automatically. I waited. And then, this morning, the universe handed me the stage. The intern, wife, stood dripping arrogance in the lobby, shouting about power she didn't understand. Staff slowed, phones lifted, security hesitated. I stayed still. When he arrived, the room changed. He looked at me first. That was a mistake. His face drained, not from guilt, but from calculation gone wrong. He saw the crowd. He saw the phone still in my hand. He saw her standing there, defiant and unaware. She ran to him, clung, claimed. "This woman assaulted me," she said. "Get her removed." I finally spoke. "She's your wife?" I asked him softly. "Which one?" The words landed heavy. The board chair stepped forward. Security moved closer, not to me. Papers appeared like magic. Dates, certificates, photos, the quiet kind of evidence that doesn't need explaining. He tried to speak. I watched him realize in real time that there was no version of this where he won. She looked at him then, really looked. The truth reached her slower, but when it did, it shattered. She screamed my name like it was a curse. I leaned in close enough for only her to hear. "You should have checked who poured the foundation," I said, "before you tried to build on it." They escorted him away, not arrested, not yet, just removed, the way tumors are, before they spread. Later, I signed the last document in an office that used to be his. The hospital would survive. I would too. Better. I stood in the lobby again, alone now. The coffee stain had dried. It would come out. Most things do if you're patient. I don't feel angry. I feel precise. He thought calm meant weak. He thought silence meant ignorance. He thought love was leverage. He was wrong on every count. Justice doesn't always shout. Sometimes it waits. And when it moves, it doesn't spill a drop.